do a take two on this. I tried to go live about this yesterday, and didn't behave itself. Well, technical errors on my behalf. So as I use this more advanced streaming setup, I want to make sure I get this right. So just while I'm here, I'm just getting our Instagram feed going as well. And so you hit the go live button over there. And then I'm going to talk to you guys today about authentic intelligence. And I'm just going to pull up my phone a second here because I have some notes. I'm going to be authentic about that in terms of some thoughts around this. Authentic intelligence. So, what people are saying about AI, there's a lot of talk about how it's going to change the world, right? Not necessarily in a good way. And honestly, I'm one of those people who kind of is in a bit of a fear spot about it. We're already starting to see it taking marketing jobs, healthcare jobs, legal jobs, accounting jobs, and so kind of looking at all of these areas, and what we're seeing is that jobs are changing. But one of the biggest problems with AI is that people don't know how to use it. People don't know how to use ChatGPT properly. And so they go and they say, write me a blog about intermittent fasting or whatever that is. And what they get out is something that isn't them. The secret to using AI effectively is to train AI to be you. But most people aren't aware of how to do that. There are ways to do that. There's ways to, to make ChatGPT you. But ultimately, a lot of people don't even know who they are. We've had a marketing agency now for 8 years, and I've been working in marketing and sales for 20 years across the time. And one of the biggest issues we have is people coming to us not really knowing who they are. I'm going to let that sink in a little bit, because we think we know who we are, but we don't really know where we are or who we are. Bob Proctor, in his book, Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life, spoke about how he'd been successful. He'd had a business. He was making $1 million a year, but he didn't know why. He didn't know how he was doing it. So he actually left that business and then went and worked for Earl Nightingale, I believe, who was one of the 4 people in personal development, and then kind of peeled back what was making him successful, understood what was working better. And often when people come to work with us, they think they know their business. But often when we dig in, when we analyze, when we spend time learning these things, they learn a lot more about their business that they didn't know, or things that they'd forgot about their business. Because as a busy business person, as you go from 6 to 7 to 8 figures, it's very easy to just follow the shiny object, follow the energy, follow these various areas. But ultimately, it's easy with that to forget who you are. And the problem is, if you don't feed you into ChatGPT, into a Gemini, into what other AI tool you might be using, you don't get you out. If you feed someone else into ChatGPT, that's what you get. And it's inauthentic. So while ChatGPT means you can write a blog a day that you avoided doing for years, you can write 3 social media posts that you did, but it's not you. And it's not okay for it to just be good enough. That's not you. So ultimately, this raises the question of, who am I? Who am I? What do I stand for? And this almost comes in at a spiritual level as much as it comes in as a business level. Because I think that when you peel back the layers on who you are, you start to realize who you are. And for me, this has been something, somewhat of a journey. I'm almost in this lab of finding out who I am. Because it's easy to say this is who I am and this is what I do and this is what I believe in. But sometimes we have to almost separate ourselves from our mind and our body and into that spirituality, into that God space, to understand about ourselves. Why we do what we do, what we're passionate about. what matters to us. Now, none of that is in ChatGPT natively. The way you get that into ChatGPT is by feeding it the right information. But again, people are not feeding this information. So they have this persona that's created for them by ChatGPT that doesn't even represent them. And so when someone comes to work with their business doesn't have them in it. And it goes very deep. It's not just social media, not just blog posts, it's product listings, it's customer service. All of these areas, people aren't actually who they are. Now, much as we buy a product because we like a product, we are buying a product because we vibe with that business, with that person. So many times people have come onto calls with me not feeling like they were looking to invest, but then spent time feeling my energy, understanding how we're able to help them, how understanding their business, understanding who authentically they are, understanding where they're going, their goals, their vision for how their business can impact the world and impact its customers. As they start to see that, they start to realize so many things. Like, some people will come away from a free consultation with me and have things that they can go and implement in their business right away. And it's this mindset, this being authentic and creating authentic intelligence instead of artificial intelligence, that is going to help people in this new world of web, this new world of life. And so, as a business owner, perhaps you need to take a moment and think about who you are. In fact, not perhaps, you do need to take a moment and realize who you are. And whether that's with some guidance from a coach, from a marketing expert like myself, or whether you're doing that on your own, it's important to dig deep, because otherwise you're going to create a business that's based on ChatGPT that nobody connects with. For a long time, we have said perfection equals no connection. And that is even more true than ever. The people who are using ChatGPT accurately, effectively, are doing it by adding that piece of connection. Putting yourself out there isn't easy, but it's how you draw that connection with people. And honestly, there are brands out there, there are individuals out there that do such a great job of showing exactly who they are, authentically who they are, that people naturally want to work with them. I'm going to leave it here for today. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully this second run through picked up the sound a little bit better. And if you want some help in your business, or getting into business, or just in showing up as a better person in your workplace, drop me a message below, slide into my DMs. I always check my others, so if we're not connected, you can do that. But have a great day. Namaste.